To feel small can be disempowering. To feel small before God can be empowering. Suppose we are walking alone in the streets of a huge metropolis filled with skyscraper buildings, thousands of passers-by on the walkways, hundreds of vehicles whirling by on the roads. You might feel utterly insignificant. Such feeling of smallness, which are associated with loneliness and insecurity, inadequacy, inferiority, or can lead to mental ill health. Indeed, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, these can be crippling problems that afflict millions. From such a context, when we come into spiritual circles and we are told we need to feel small to grow spiritually, we may wonder, will this worsen my mental health? No, not at all. Actually speaking, when we feel small in a giant metropolis, that leads to insecurity and inadequacy, because the metropolis is uncaring, even exploitative, and we may not have the resources to face it. But when we feel small before God, God is supremely caring, supremely beneficial, benevolent. However, as long as we are obsessed with ourselves, our desires, our complaints, we can't relish God's greatness and sweetness, nor can we experience His love for us, because you can see His love only through the filter of whether our desires are being fulfilled and our complaints are being addressed. So humility frees us from this self-obsession by helping us understand that actually whatever happens, we are ultimately parts of that. We are indestructible souls and we are parts of God. So humility is not just feeling small and inferior and useless and hopeless, but it is to recognize that we aren't the subject or the object that's worth our constant thoughts. We free our thoughts for thinking about God and His service and His grace, and that is empowering. Another way humility empowers us, that it frees us from the control of small desires. The Bhagavad-gita says in 15:7 that Mamaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatanaha manah shashthani indriyani prakritisthani karshate. That Mamaivaamsho jiva loke, that we are His eternal parts. And if we don't act in relationship with Him, then Our search for pleasure makes us vulnerable to our mind and senses, which drag us here, there, and everywhere in the way with the vain promise of pleasure. And thus we get caught in small desires and just living to watch the latest movie or the latest TV show or the latest novel or whatever. We waste our lives, and thus our existence becomes small and insignificant when we have small desires. But when we become connected with God through humility, then we understand that we all can do something meaningful and valuable in His service. And our desires become big in the sense that we want to do something valuable for others in the service of God. And we also seek to attain God for a life of eternal love with Him. And thus, the bigger our desires, the more significance our existence acquires. Not by our having a bloated ego, but by our developing an enduring connection with the Supreme Being. Thank you.